Hey everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day out there. Hey, today I have a message that I want to deliver from right here to Donald Trump. And I just want to share it with him because it's only 3 words. And the 3 words that I want to share with Donald Trump is, being he's in a place to possibly become president. I want to tell him these 3 words, and I hope they resonate with him. I hope they vibrate in him until it happens. But what I want to say to Donald Trump is, build that bridge. Build that bridge. I've watched you, Donald Trump, for a long time. I've watched you. I've watched you when you were in New York City, when New York City was going down, and you saw that hotel that needed to be reconstructed, and you used your alchemy, you used your gift to bring people together to revamp that hotel and bring New York back to life. You resurrected that city. I've also seen that happen when you went over to Kim Jong-un over there, and in the face of a threat, you flew over there with integrity to build that bridge. You did that also with Putin. You went over there with the intention to build that bridge. And what I want to say is, if that's the vibration, the thing I realize is that there is no them. They are us. They over there are us. We are them. The reason I can say that, and the reason that I know that is how this country was founded. This country was founded one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There was no them. You could come to America and you could worship as you would, right? It didn't matter. You could be a Muslim, a Hindu, a Buddhist. You could come to America and you could worship God as you would. And why not? Why not? Where you grew up is the religion you would probably be born with. So isn't that a wonderful thing that America, the reason it was a crown jewel was because it didn't have that division. It was a melting pot where people could come together as one. And that's the message I want to talk about today. One. What is one? The Bible says this. It says, when the 2 become one, the eye becomes single, and the whole body becomes bright. What's happened to our country and what's happened to all these countries is they've individualized. They've all scattered. They've all become independent. They've all become, scattered. But the Bible says when the 2 become one, the eye becomes single, and the whole body becomes bright. So what that means is, within our nation, if we could bring it back together, if we could piece it back together, the left and the right, if those 2 could actually work together, we would have harmony, right? And right now, what's happening is there's a division, and it's pushing us apart. If we're on the left, we have to hate the right. If we're on the right, we have to hate the left. There's no middle place. There's no overlapping anymore. And in that context, we have no sight. Think about that. America right now has no sight. And the reason it has no sight is because America is being run with corporate greed instead of integrity. Integrity is the spot. When truth is our guide, when integrity is our drive, that's when we have real power. That's when the 2 become one and the eye becomes single. That is living in the house not built with hands. And I want to say to Donald Trump, should you become president, you can move into that house. You can say, yes, I'm going to live in the house not built with hands. I'm going to live in the house of integrity and truth. And my intention is going to be to build bridges, not division. This country was not founded on Christianity. It was founded under God. Yes, it was spiritual principles. Love your neighbor as yourself. Think about this. God is the one who knitted everyone together in the womb. Think about that. God's own hand made me. God's own hand made the Muslim. God's own hand made the Hindu. God's own hand made the Jew. So here we are. Here we are on planet Earth. We're all eating the same food. We're all drinking the same water. We're all under the same sun. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We move and have our being in God. Think about that. It can't be any other way. Where you were born is what you will, that's the way you will see God. Where you were born in different parts of this planet is how you will see God, and that's okay. It's okay if somebody sees God as another name and call him by another name. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that we live from the house of integrity, that we move back into integrity, that we're not codependent on nationalism. We're not codependent on our big industries here that are running things. If they run the show, if our industries here run the show, we're toast. We're toast. Because they got to have war. They got to have separation. They've got to have an enemy. The Bible said we must become one. The two must become one, or the multiple must become one. I think that's what made America special. It wasn't only one person who could come in here and worship as they will and another one. It was kind of like a lotus flower. Everybody could come in. Everybody was overlapped. And you know what? It didn't bother us. I wasn't worried about a guy down in New York City who was doing Ramadan or a Buddhist temple or whatever. I wasn't worried about any of that when I was young. I don't know how it could be any other way. It's only as we've gotten older, that we've learned how to divide. We've been programmed to divide each other. But I'm going to say this. The power today, the power that we have today is to move into the house of integrity, the house of truth, the house of loving our neighbor as ourself. That's what I want to tell Trump. If he gets an opportunity, he's obviously a candidate. And I want to say, if he gets that opportunity to move into that house, to move out of the house of codependency, to move out of the house of corporate corruption, and move into the house of integrity. And I don't think we realize there is power in that house. There is enormous, tremendous power in that house. That house is where the spiritual truth is. It's the middle place. It's the activated Christos within us. If we live in our left brain, totally codependent on greed and corruption, if we live in that space, we're not going to have sight. America's not going to have sight. And we've got to stop. We have got to stop putting up walls. And I'm not talking about the southern wall. I'm talking about the wall between people. All of us, this is the time we're living in right now. This time we are living in right now. The people have said enough. We've had enough killing. We've had enough destruction. We've had enough not having peace. We've had enough. We are ready to start loving one another. And we need a leader who's willing to build those bridges. And you know, Donald Trump, I think you have that gift. I really do. And nobody can take away from you. You can say what you want. We know what you've done. We've seen what you've done with these different world leaders. We've seen you confront them. We've seen them. They like you. You like them. I don't know if all your intentions are exactly right. It doesn't matter. Because we can always return to the house not built with hands. We're in and out of it. That's what the ego is. I'm back in this. I'm back codependent. I'm saying what they want to hear, right? We're in and out of it. We all are. So we cannot condemn you or any man for coming in and out of the ego and out of the false self. We got to stop that. We're all transcending lower consciousness. We're all hopefully coming in and back to the Father's house, the spiritual dimension within, the way, the truth, and the light. The house not built with hands. So I'm praying that this message will get to you. I'm praying that when you go to your rally, that maybe the mantra will be, build that bridge, build that bridge, build that bridge. I think you are gifted there. From what I've seen, I see that's a tremendous gift you have. Call it alchemy. Call it whatever you want. Call it charisma. But it's a gift God has given you, a bridge builder. And I think by having integrity as your compass, Donald Trump, having truth as your compass, Donald Trump, you can really build that bridge back. We can make this country beautiful again. We have to start at home, right? We have to start here. We have to build that bridge here. We can't let the forces to be continue to divide us. Psyops. And all these different things they're doing to divide us, to keep us in hatred toward our own brother. Think about that. Think about that. Who's dividing us? It's a spirit that's dividing us. It's a spirit. There's also another spirit that says, love your neighbor as yourself. There's another spirit that says that too is your brother. Who they are over there is you. They were knitted in the womb. They were pulled out of somewhere, put into your mother's body. Something knitted together, knitted all of us together. So here we are. We're all eating the same food, breathing the same air, was birthed the same way, immaculately conceived by the hand of God. And we're all down here fighting over who's right, whose religion's right, whose political party is right. In the temple within, there is no political party. It's an illusion. The political party is an illusion. Left and right is an illusion. It's a world they want us to live in. Either live here or live here. You got to be one or the other. No, I don't. My kingdom, the inner kingdom of truth, is that we were all one. And I don't have to live in those temples built with hands. The political temples, the religious temples, and all of these things that have divided us. I don't have to live in those houses. We want to live in the house not built with hands. The house of truth, the house of righteousness. The house of integrity. We've got to remember. We've got to remember. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There wasn't the separation back then. There wasn't the hatred. There wasn't these attractor fields pulling us apart. We weren't buying in. But what's happening right now, a couple of things are happening. The political parties, the religious parties, are trying to cement in what God made in his image. They're saying, no, you're a temple. No, you're a church. You're a church. You're a church and we're right. I grew up in that. I grew up in that religion where we're right and everybody else has to go. That's got to go. That religious ideology that they got to go so I can live has got to go. That's the temple made with hands. The political party, they got to go. They got to go. That's the temple made with hands. That's the illusion. That is the matrix. And that's what we're being asked to step out of. Build that bridge. Build that bridge. We're all made in the image and likeness of God. All wouldn't be here unless by the grace of God. Build that bridge. We must live from the temple not built with the hands of men. Those are false. Those are fake. They're there for a purpose. To divide. We're being called back home right now. I believe the whole world right now is being called back home to union. To union with our Father, God, and our fellow man and women, and every man and child on the face of the earth. And we can go back home. We can say, yes, I want to go back home. We can say, yes, I want to be a part of that kingdom that includes everyone. It's not impossible. You know, every genocide starts with a mantra. You know, they're built wrong. They look wrong. They're different. You know, they've got long noses, whatever, right? Every genocide kind of starts with that. Why can't every good thing start with a mantra? We're all one. Build that bridge. Build that bridge. That's how I'll know. That's how I think everybody will know. I think everybody is crying out right now, build that bridge. We don't like what's going on in the world. We don't like what's happening here. We don't. We don't have any sight. Corporations have taken over ideologies, taken over presidents, taken over consciousness. Money has ruled instead of truth and righteousness. And I know right now there's a heart cry going out. There is a heart cry going out right now, and it is for truth and righteousness. We're seeing through the veils. We're seeing through the psyops. We're seeing through the corporate corruption. We're seeing it all play out. We can see it as clear as a bell. There's no more illusions for us. We're not in illusion anymore. We're not in disillusion. We're waking up. The world is waking up to falsehood. And we want truth. And so I want to say to Donald Trump that has an opportunity to be a president, and whoever's in there. But I think that's one of his gifts. I think that's one of Donald Trump's gifts, is a bridge builder. But if you can go in there with the intention to build that bridge, to say no more, no more. and rely on something greater than yourself, the spirit of truth within. It's a field of energy unfathomable. The house not built with hands is an energy unfathomable. It's the middle place. It's between the two polar opposites. It's integrity and truth and righteousness. It's not codependent. It drinks from the wine, the good wine. It drinks from the well that doesn't run dry. It says, I want to be grafted in to the well that never gets thirsty again. The well of truth, the well of wonder, the well of divine union. Donald Trump could step into that. All we have to do is say yes. Build that bridge. Build that bridge. Build that bridge. And don't let anything come in between. This is a time of awakening. We have an opportunity. It's time to come back home. Do you know if we come back home to that house not built with hands, do you know what it says happens? It says, everything I have is yours. All that we lost will be restored. The Bible says, I'll give you back what the locusts have eaten if you'll only come back home. We have an opportunity here. Everyone's tired. Everyone's fed up. Everybody's longing and saying, yes. Is this the opportunity? Is this the time in our country where everything can turn around? Is this the time where we're going to grab hold of it and say, I want home more than anything? Home here, not up there, here. I want home here. And see the miracles and see the possibility that's awaiting our country and all countries. Should we decide to come into union and remember that we are all children of the Most High. It doesn't matter the religion. It doesn't matter. Stop it. We have one Father. And He's asking us now, right now, come home. Come home. Come home. I'll give you everything. Come home. You're eating crumbs. If you're living out of corporate greed, and that's what's feeding you, you're eating crumbs. To see the world come back together into wholeness, into union, to seeing smiles on everybody's face, seeing people have enough to eat, seeing people without fear, doubt, and worry on their face. This is the opportunity right now. Right now. Right now. And it's always been right now. But right now more than ever. Because so many people are crying out. So many people are saying, yes, I don't want this. I don't want this. I don't want this blindness. I don't want this blindness. I don't want any more manipulation. I don't want any more lies. I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. I don't want this anymore. This is the greatest opportunity right now. The most wonderful of its opportunity. It might have been centuries coming. This might have been lifetimes ago coming. But I do believe we're at a precipice in time. That everything could change. I think all the principles are here. All the crying outs here. The company of heaven is here. All the forces of good are here, reminding us who we are at a level we've never experienced before. So Donald Trump, since you are in that position, since you are in possibly a position of enormous power, you can add to your power 1,000-fold. Not the crumbs, not the crumbs. But real power, real anointing, real power. And that power is in truth. Forget about what everyone else thinks. Step into truth. Step in fully to the light. Do not be in bondage to corporations and greed. Build that bridge. And then let that bridge build all the other bridges with all these other nations as you do so well. It is your gift. You are a bridge builder. Build that bridge. The bridge of divine union. The bridge of truth more than anything else. Let truth be your guide. Let truth be your guide. Let integrity be your guide. Let that be the goal. Let that be the mantra. Let that be the vibration. Let that be the alchemy. Let that be the compass that guides you. And that kind of power can and will change the world. That's the power that's being cried out of the hearts of mankind. Not deception, not greed, not they gotta go. Union. Coming into divine union with truth, with other people. If you build that bridge, solidify that bridge, cement that bridge to truth, everyone else will see it. It'll be an energy signature that's around you. People will know it when you walk in a room. People will see it just like a halo. If that's the bridge you've built, and that's the bridge you are turning to walk on, choosing to walk on, saying that's what I'm going to do at all cost. If you will build that bridge, we have an opportunity. That bridge can make all the darkness flee. All the corruption go away. Build that bridge. Build that bridge. We're all waiting. We're all saying yes. We're all behind you. Say no more to the matrix. No more to codependency, to corruption and greed. Those lower attractor fields, they're energy fields. They call them lower attractor fields. We don't have to hang out in them. We do not have to hang out in a lower attractor field of greed and corporate greed and codependency. Integrity is the line where everything starts to get well. This country can be well again if its intention is integrity and truth and wholeness. Remember, when the two become one, right? The bridge between us and integrity and truth. When the two become one, it says the eye becomes single and the whole body, the whole world can become bright, a bright light. Isn't it amazing that we have that capacity? All of us, each of us individually, can come home to truth and righteousness and leave the programming of separation and us against them, my religion over their religion. They gotta go, I gotta live. We don't want that anymore. We don't want that anymore. We don't want those illusions anymore. God knitted everyone together in the womb, not just you, not just me, everyone, every person on this earth was knitted together in the womb by the hand of God. Why are we all fighting? We're all brothers and sisters. I don't know about you. Haven't you fought long enough? Are you tired of fighting? I am. Are you tired of fighting? I am. We don't have to keep fighting. What is telling us to keep fighting? What is the spirit that's telling us we gotta hate them? What's the spirit? What is it? That's what we got to say no to. I don't want that spirit. I don't want to be separated anymore. I want to know my brothers. And I've met enough people. I've traveled enough to know those people over there are not our enemies. I have met those people on boats and different things. And I've had coffee with them. And I've given them hugs. And they've given me hugs. And I said, yes. I want to give and receive hugs. I want to give and receive love. I've had enough blindness. I'm tired. Aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of walking around blind? We don't have to continue. We do not have to continue. There is another spirit. It's God calling us back home. Come home. Come home. Come home to sanity. Come back, come back, come back. Everything I have is yours. Anyway, guys, that's all I want to say today. I just felt inspired to share that with you. I don't know where it come from. I don't. But I do know it came from my heart. And I know, I know we're all tired. Just remember what the Bible says. When the two become one, the eye becomes single. We need the new sight. We need new sight. This, a lot of times, only sees what it thinks we see, right? The illusion. This right here only a lot of times sees the illusion. The spiritual eye sees the truth. The spiritual eye. And that eye is not a religion. That eye is not us against them. That eye is truth and righteousness and integrity. It's not a religion. It's not a religion. Many religions has taught us to hate just as much as anything else. God is not a religion. I grew up in a religion, 40 years. Separation. They got to go. I grew up in that. I don't want that anymore. That was an illusion. That was a false thing that I lived in out of my left brain. We're the right ones. We have it all right, and they got to go. I lived out of that. 40 years. 40 years. I was a program. I want to live in a house not built with hands. The real house. The real temple. A temple of integrity, the temple of love. Loving my neighbor as myself, because the neighbor is myself. There is no separation. They bleed like me. They have eyes like me. They eat like me. They eat from the dirt like me. They breathe air from the sky like me. They bathe under the same sun as me. They drink the same water as me. That is the truth. That is the truth. May the truth set us free. That is the truth that sets us free. And I think if we can embody it, I think if we can just grab hold of it and let that be our compass, let all the voices just kind of go out, let truth be our conscience, righteousness, love, long to give hugs, long to shake somebody's hand, be a millionaire smiler, look at people in the eye and tell them you love them. Let that reign. Let that reign. Let that reign. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to share my heart with you today. Wanted to share just those thoughts with you. And hopefully this idea, this inspiration, this truth reach Donald Trump, since he is in that position to do something, to bring this understanding to the world. All he has to do is embody it himself. Think about that. Hold on one second, the phone's ringing. Let me decline. But you know what? All he has to do is say yes. All he has to say is, here I am, send me. Think about that. Here I am, send me. That's all his message has got to be to God. Here I am, send me. To build a bridge. To build bridges. Not just a bridge, but bridges. That's what my prayer is. And I hope you guys, I hope you share this with people. I believe it's what we're all crying out for. I think we've all had enough. I think we've all said we don't have to do this. We're just here. We're just destroying ourselves. If we just would look in the mirror, if we just look at what we're saying, if we would just look at the intention that we're putting out, If I destroy them, I'm destroying me. Think about that. If I'm destroying you, I'm destroying me. It's insanity. We have been living in insanity. No more. No more, no more. Let's all become bridge builders. Let's all become bridge builders. No more of this. No more of this. No more. Say with me, no more. No more. Let's all become bridge builders. Let's don't leave it just on Trump's hand or who's ever in there. Let's wish they all become bridge builders, real bridge builders. Real bridge builders. Not fake. Not fake. We have power greater than ourselves that wants to use us, that wants to work through us, that wants to connect with us. Power greater than ourselves that wants to be one with us. And we can access it. Anybody can. We all can. Let's all do it. Let's all say yes. Let's all say yes. Yes to integrity. Yes to loving our brother as ourself. Yes to loving our neighbor as ourself. No more seeing them as our enemy. No matter what anybody tells us. They're not our enemy. They are not our enemy. They are us. No more. No more. We don't have to participate in this game. We do not have to participate in the game that we've been playing our whole life. We have the same power that we can tap into when we say, yes, I want to be a bridge builder. I want to be a bridge builder. I know that's me over there. That's not my enemy. That's me. I'm going to go give him a hug. Let's all be bridge builders. Let's all be bridge builders. Enough is enough. We don't have to let lower attractor fields destroy us. We don't have to listen to this voice of hate, right and left. Like I said, for the person who lives in the house without hands, there is no political government. That's a facade. That is a facade. All these religions hate each other. It's a facade. That's not the right house. If you're in a religious house and you hate all them, then you're not in the right house. You are not in the right house. I'm going to say it. You are not living in the right house. I'm not angry, guys. I'm just passionate. I'm just passionate. Why not use my voice? I'm a voice too, right? And so are you. Can't quite see who's writing there, but thank you. It says prayer request. So thank you for that. But anyway, guys, I'm going to have to cut it off. I'm going to have to get on with my day. But I just wanted to put this out there. I just wanted to say, yes, I'm part of that. I'm going to be part of the bridge building. The bridge building. Not the deconstruction. Not the hatred. And we can all choose that. That is what this country was founded on. If we start here, it will spread. If it starts in our own house, in America, it'll spread. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful? It'll spread. Start first in your own house. And how is America going to be great again? And we see them as us. Because they are us. That's the bridge we need to build. The bridge that needs to be built today is a universal bridge. The whole world is crying out. It really is. Just talk to some people, even in people in other countries. They're crying out. No more. No more war. No more killing. We've got to learn another way. And the temple, not built with hands, within our temple, can show us the other way. It's truth. There's light in it. There's a bright light in it. There's energy that's unfathomable in it that we can walk in if we say yes to. So anyway, guys, I'm hoping you all say yes. I'm hoping all of you say yes. That's what I want, to be a bridge builder. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. And God bless you. I love you all. I really do love you all. And I pray that we can all return home. Home to truth, home to integrity, home to righteousness. And let that live us. Build that bridge. Build that bridge. Build that bridge. Build the bridge to divine union first, with yourself in integrity, or with God, however you want to say it. Build that bridge. And then let that light unfold. Let that light come out and radiate out. A light like the world has never seen. Let that light shine. All right, I'm going to check out here. Thank you guys. Thank all of you. Love all of you guys. And like I said, spread the message if you would. And it'll be awesome. Thank you.